Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our midweek soiree.
Hi.
Today is Dee Dee and I today. So V Marie will not be with us today. We're glad to have Dee Dee back with us
Yay,
today.
yay. Wishing
Yes,
V Marie a speedy recovery. Sis, if you are
yes,
watching, praying for a speedy recovery.
yes. Hurry up. But this week, our topic is trusting God and overcoming obstacles. And so when I was thinking on our topic for this week, I just thought about a plethora of things and how one thing in particular that came to mind for me is how we often say trust the process. And that sounds really cute when we say trust the process, but nobody really takes the time to explain what the process is. It's like you got to figure it out on your own, or whoever guides you through your process. But my things that I want to share today is that obstacle that you have in your life right now. If you're facing something in your life right now, just reflect on things that you have overcome in the past, and just know that if you made it through that thing that you made it through in the past, that you can still overcome the issue that you are overcoming right now. And just because you don't see your thing that you're praying for, or that moment that you're looking for, whatever it is, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not there. That place is still there. That moment is still there for you. But trusting the process means understanding what the process is, or being able to know what your obstacle is, and knowing what you have within you to tackle those obstacles. So it's possible to defeat that obstacle if you know within yourself what you have in your hand.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree. Lord, I could say so many things when it comes to this topic, but I'm gonna keep it simple.
Mhm.
When I think of obstacles and trusting the process, I could probably think about so many things, like I said, but but I'm gonna try to keep it light tonight. But I could think about when I, you know, first started my business, or when I first started, having the desire to have my own shop.
Right.
Um, Trusting that process meant that, it was a time where I wanted it really, really bad, but God
Hmm.
was like, "No, not yet. It's not.
Hmm.
It's not time yet. Like, I'm gonna do it for you, but
Hmm.
not yet." Like, so I had to, you know, pretty much die to my flesh and what I wanted,
Hmm.
and trust God that, okay, he's not gonna do it right now, but he's gonna do it.
Right.
Trusting the process is just continue to move forward, even though you don't see something in the flesh. Like, it can look, a situation can look one certain way in the
Hmm.
flesh right in front of us, but that doesn't mean that God's not working behind the scenes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's always working behind the scenes. That's why um you can't go by what you see in your, that's not what faith is. Faith is what the
Hmm.
substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So that means
Hmm.
it could look like a mess and terrible in the flesh, like, but
Right.
that's where that faith comes from, and that's where that trust in the process comes from. You have to have enough faith to know it looks like this, but I know what God said. I know what
Right.
God has promised me, and God is a man that he will not lie. He
Hmm.
never gonna lie. So
That's right.
if he said it, you can believe it and you can stand on it, no matter what it looks like. No matter what it looks like. So to me, that's what trust in the process looks like.
Hmm. And when if you're just thinking about who you were a year ago, you're not the same person that you were a year ago. And you had to go from one faith to another faith and one level to another level. And that involves change. And sometimes, most of the time, change is uncomfortable. Sometimes change hurts.
It
And
is very.
because, yeah, because it goes against what you know or what you're familiar with. And I just, just in a scenario so that you can understand it, try to put on a pair of shoes that's too small for you, or try to put on an outfit that you know you cannot get in. It's going to hurt. It's going to be uncomfortable. You may
Mhm.
not be able to fit the things that you used to fit because it's not for you anymore.
Right.
And when we're having to go through a process and being able to trust God, we got to be able to listen to what He's saying. Just like you said, being able to have an ear to hear what He's saying. And that means listening, sitting down, not talking, listening, being able to know when He's talking so that you can move forward. Because sometimes we miss it because we're busy. We're
Yeah.
busy talking.
Yeah, you can't hear that way. And change is uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable, but I feel like when you're in the most uncomfortable place, that's how you know you're growing. That's how you know
Mm-hmm.
that you're growing. The Bible says we go from what? Faith to faith and glory to glory. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like the more you go through or trust in the process, going through that process is going to feel uncomfortable. But that's how you know that's how you know you're growing. It's just like a baby. Like if a
Mm-hmm.
baby don't stay a baby forever, a baby is gonna grow. A baby's gonna grow into a toddler. So if you have a 6 month old with 6 month old clothes on, when the baby grows to 2 years old, you can't still try to put that 6 month old on 2 year old in the 6 month clothes. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be you're gonna see that that baby has grown. You can put that on them, but if you try to put a 2 year old on a 6 month old sleeper, you're going to see that that child is going to bust out of that, and
Right.
that's gonna show you what growth, that this child
Mm-hmm.
has grown, and that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be what uncomfortable for that baby. He gonna be trying to get out and maneuver to get up out of there.
That's
So
right.
that uncomfortable place is where you know you are growing, and so
Right.
that is what has helped me to get through many, many, many trying situations in my life. I had to realize the more uncomfortable I am, I'm growing, I'm
Mm-hmm.
elevating, and I
Mm-hmm.
my faith is being strengthened. I'm going from faith to faith to glory to glory, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a good place to be. I know people always equate uncomfortableness as something bad, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, that's a sign that God is doing something different.
Right.
And everything that God does, He does it good. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's not ever a bad thing. Not
Mm-hmm.
ever a bad thing.
Right. You ever been through a car wash and just sat there through, those drive-through car washes?
Yeah, yeah.
Traffic car washes.
Like
Well,
tidal wave.
right, right, like tidal wave. So I have a friend who's very claustrophobic and would not go through a car wash like that. I don't care how much you paid her. And so, for me, I actually could use that moment to reflect and to think as a moment of being trusting. So you got to go pull up to the car wash, and you hear the person. Well, you see the person beckoning you to come a little further, come a little further. Then they tell you to put your car in neutral
Yeah.
so that feet off the brakes,
Does
in
that
neutral,
not take?
and
Oh
that's
my
it.
God. Does that not take the most trust? And listen,
Yes,
I'm so glad you said that, because that is a great example, Cynthia.
it
Oh God,
is.
that's so good. But let me tell you, I drive a 6 speed. So
Oh my.
I remember when I got my car, and I went the first time I took my car through tidal wave. I remember I didn't think about the fact that I had a 6 speed until I was already in there. And I was like, oh my God, I asked the attendant, I was like, I have a 6 speed. By this time, I can't back up because there's so many cars behind me. I said, I have a 6 speed. Is it going to work in here? Because I don't know how that works. I know it'll automatic. You put it in neutral, but what do you do
Mhm.
with a 6 speed, girl? I was panicking because I knew I couldn't get out of there. It was no way for me to get out. And
That's right.
he said, he was like, I don't know. He was like, I really don't know. He was like, you the first one that has asked me that. He was like, I
Hmm.
guess we just gonna have to go through and see. And
Hmm.
girl, when I say I had to trust that I was not gonna get in there and mess up my car or not be able to move. So
That's
I
right.
drove in, and I don't have a neutral. So I could just take it out of
Hmm.
gear. Like, so I don't have
Hmm.
neutral. I took my car out of gear and took my foot and stuff off the gas, and I was just like, Lord, it ain't nothing I can do now but trust you to take me on through it. So
Exactly.
yeah, so that was
I
so
went through
good.
one today, and I actually, for a moment, I just closed my eyes, and I just listened to everything that was happening around me. And that was just like a moment of trusting the process. You're
Yeah.
in neutral. Something else is guiding you, and you have no control. You gotta
None.
believe that on the other side, your car is gonna be clean, and you're gonna be out of that situation.
Oh, that's so good.
And so I secretively, have my moments where I'm like, I would love to go through a car wash moment right now. So today I had a car wash moment. Took my car through there so that I could just think. It was brief, but it gave me that moment. It brought back to my remembrance of how that was like trusting the process. You see
Yeah.
the things gliding on your window, you hear the water splashing all around you. You know that something is rotating your tires and cleaning your tires so that you can get through there. But at the end, you have the wind blowing you from side to side and drying you off from everything that you just went through. And
Yeah.
you go through, and then it's like you still can't go on, turn your car back and drive until the light says so. So
Right.
you still gotta wait until it says green, and then you can go. So
Yeah.
that's an example of what our life's process is like, in
Woo.
my opinion. Just going through having a car wash moment. So everybody, if you have the opportunity to, if you're not claustrophobic like my bestie, have your car wash moment. Just go through, close your eyes, be
Girl.
careful, take your foot off the brakes, put your car in neutral, and just see what it feels like. When you go through that, then you'll know exactly. This is an example of what it is that you're going through in your life right now,
Woo.
as your
Girl, that
process.
is so good. That was the
Yeah.
best example. Oh my gosh, that was so good. So good. So teachable, so relatable. Like that is
Hmm.
so good. Because when you're in that little when you get your car inside that little tunnel, there is
Hmm.
something it's something where your wheels are on that's actually pushing you forward, like pushing
Hmm.
you forward. You absolutely don't have no control.
Right.
You have to you might as well take your
Hands
hands
off.
off the steering wheel because you absolutely don't have no control. So just
Hmm.
take your hands off of that situation that you're
That's
going through,
right.
just like you do when you in
Hands
there.
off.
Take your hands off because you absolutely have no
Mhm.
control. You
Right.
just gotta trust God and let Him take
Mhm.
you on through it. Like Cynthia said, let that
Mhm.
wind dry you off. Woo, girl.
We gonna need an usher on aisle two over
Yes,
there.
yes, girl. Girl, don't get me started now. But yeah, that's a great example. So great. Car
Yes.
wash experience. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I also thought about how just a couple of years ago, and you mentioned about your business and all the changes that you go through with wanting to start your business. And first, you have that thought, and then you just build upon that thought of this is the desire that was planted in you, and you're building upon it. You know it's there. You know it's yours. You know you got to go through it and do that which you're called to do. But I remember feeling like uncertain and like knowing that I had to do something else, and I could see the place and I could see me going in that direction, but it was so frustrating because I didn't know how I was going to
Right.
get there. That was a new place for me. So new is uncomfortable, that new place, and you don't have what it takes at that moment to get you there. But what it requires is you in becoming educated in the area that you're supposed to go in. You can't think, okay, I'm going to be this entrepreneur without investing in yourself or investing in that thing that you're supposed to do. Or if it's not a business, it could be something else. You can't go forward in that area unless you have educated yourself. Got to spy out the land and know where you're going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like faith without works is dead. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
you get God places that desire in your heart, but you got to meet Him halfway. So you
Hmm. That's true.
have to do your part. You have to do your
Right.
part. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
they are mighty quiet. We just having a good old conversation.
I know. I can't see the comments. So
Anybody want to comment? If this was helpful for you today, give us a thumbs up. If you love this video, give us a heart. Let us know how you're doing with your process. If you feel comfortable enough to comment about the process that you are actually going through today, you are welcome to chime in. And if not, any final thoughts, Dee Dee?
girl, I think you hit it on the head with that car wash. I mean, I ain't got nothing to say after that. Like
You better go to the car wash
literally.
tomorrow.
Girl, let me tell you. Listen, y'all take that. Like, you need to put that somewhere with a girl. You need to stamp that somewhere. Y'all think about that car wash experience, and that will literally show you exactly what you're going through.
Right.
Take your hands off of it and trust God. Like,
That's right.
trust God.
Right.
At the end, when you come out, just like when you come out that car wash, my car be shining like a
That's
brand
right.
new car. Okay, I'm like, what? Sassy is clean. Okay, so just like the car gonna come out of there with shining and looking brand new, clean, like it
That's
wasn't
right.
never dirty. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like that situation ain't never happened. It wasn't never dirty. God done cleaned it all up and made it
Mm-hmm.
all new.
That's
So
right.
yeah, so
That's right.
that's what I would say. Just keep
Coming
that.
out as pure gold. Try
Yeah,
to.
right.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in with us. We just want to remind you that, of course, we're keeping our eyes on this COVID thing. Gosh, I hate that we're having to go through this right now.
I
And we
know.
will give you updates regarding the experience. I want to continue to go forward. You can continue to register. And if we have to postpone it, we will make sure that we contact you ahead of time for any type of arrangements that need to be made. But you are welcome to continue to enroll in the experience. We look forward to
Yes.
seeing you there. We
Yes.
are
COVID won't let
excited
us be
about it.
great. COVID will
Yes,
not let us be great.
that's right. That's right. This is just a moment that we are looking forward to. But your safety and our safety definitely comes first. We'll
Absolutely.
keep you updated. But in the meantime, you are welcome to continue to enroll in the experience. And until next time, you all take care and be safe. See you
All
next
right.
time.
Bye, y'all. Be
Bye.
blessed.